As you're working with Google Earth, notice the numbers down here. We have a latitude and longitude. We also have the elevation where the cursor is, so watch as I move this mouse around, how that number changes right here. And also we have the imagery date, so on the 28th of April in 2016 this ice was melting out. So let's move from Chimney Pond up here to Baxter Peak. And that, of course, is 5,268 feet elevation. And if we move our mouse around here, I'm getting 5,248, 5,254. So presumably if I landed my mouse right over the top of that, somewhere I would get 5,280, unless there's some interpolation error or whatever else. So the reason why that is there's a elevation model living underneath all this imagery, and Google Earth knows where you are, and that is returning, wherever you put your mouse, the elevation for that point. So you can calculate change in elevation. So let's try. So we have Chimney Pond, that's, I'm reading 2,904 feet, and then Baxter Peak, wherever that mouse is, 5,250. And let's subtract one from the other. So 5,250 minus 2,904 equals a change in elevation of 2,346 feet. And then we can go ahead and use our ruler here. Click once at Chimney Pond. Sometimes it doesn't hear you the first time, you have to remind it, so let's start from the visitor center right here. And just say you did a straight line from point A to point B, we have a distance of 4,603 feet. So 4,603. And that ground length seems to be giving you a distance if you were actually measuring the distance you walked, which is not what you want. You want the horizontal distance, not the distance over terrain. Let's go ahead and close that, and slope is just rise over run. So we have rise of 2,346 divided by a run, or a distance, of 4,603. And that gives us a 50.9% slope. So you have to move that decimal place over a couple of times because it's a percentage. But that is a 50% slope, and you would have an absolutely miserable time going from point A to point B, especially because most of that is a cliff. And if you're a technical climber, you could do that, but if you are a normal walking type person, you would take one of these trails up, which takes you over a more gentle grade. You obviously can't go from A to B. That reflects an average slope between this location and that one, but of course it's flat, 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 and then you're climbing here. So that is how you get your elevation off of Google Earth with reasonable accuracy.